explosion. Several workers are still missing, and it is believed they may have been thrown overboard when the first blast took place. All available craft in the area are scouring the port for survivors, something made all the more difficult by the strong tide.
Hot work has many associated hazards, such as explosions that can damage equipment, the vessel, and possibly injure personnel. Other risks include slag from welding and burning that causes fire when dropped onto a combustible surface, though it may not start until several hours after the operation is complete. The heat produced by hot work can damage electrical components and burn skin. Electric shocks often come from poorly maintained equipment, but they also arise when a welder is working in very damp, wet, or confined spaces. Notice here that our welders are using coveralls that are approved for welding. If you don't have such approved coveralls, you should wear a welder's apron. UV light from a welding operation can damage unprotected eyes. Some operations produce poisonous gases, and they can also deplete oxygen in the atmosphere, especially if the work is undertaken in a restricted space. With so many hazards and potential risks, it's essential that effective risk assessment takes place before the task is started. In this section, the permit to work identifies areas that must be risk assessed before the authorizing person will sign the permit. Tanks and pipelines must be gas-free and approved for hot work on or close by. Adjacent tanks must also be certified gas-free or filled with water. Checks must be made for combustible materials directly above, below, and around the workplace. And the area should be relatively dry to prevent electrical shocks. Inspections must be carried out to see if combustible materials are on the other side of the bulkhead before any welding is started. Make yourself aware of any systems that may automatically start and introduce hazards, such as gas vents. Ventilation, exhaust and air delivery systems should all work properly, ensuring that there is clean air to breathe. The fire watchman should be posted and instructed on the work that will take place. All electrical equipment in the vicinity should be isolated. It is also important that the equipment used for the work is in good order. And this includes fire appliances, which should be easily accessible. There must also be sufficient PPE for the operation, including hard hats, overalls, leather gauntlets, aprons, safety goggles, and visors. When risk assessments have taken place on all of these aspects, these sections of the permit to work can be completed. Any areas where the risks are too great should be addressed, or the permit should not be authorized.